I'm going to try to do this. I thought this through earlier, but I probably forgot everything I was going to say. But it was more than I could say in a text, and I think it merited more. So, yesterday morning, I got a call from my nephew, actually. And I was going to say a friend of mine, but my nephew is my friend. And he informed me that an old friend of mine had killed himself. And a bit of processing. I think there were some things I just wanted to say. To start with, it's messed up. It's messed up that he's gone. It's messed up how it happened. Everything about it. But let's go back. So we're talking about a friend of mine that were very close at one time and kind of drifted away because I had moved away. He had stayed. He had issues even when I had known him. In fact, at one point he was a member of my band, and at one point we actually had to kick him out because he was kind of all over the place. And so I hate to say it, but it's kind of like I was shocked, but I wasn't entirely surprised because I had seen it from him. Where when we were together, he said that us riding and hanging out is what held them together. And so yeah, there's a little bit of a feeling on that of if you had only stayed or if you had only been around, could things have been different? But I'm not going to harp on that too much because you never know. But let's look at the good times. Chris was a good friend of mine. My ankle pops to this day, every time I move it, from when I pulled a tendon the day I met him. When I was riding a cheap little Walmart bike, and he showed up on his bike at Broadmoor Elementary in Hobbs, New Mexico. He said, somebody told me that there was somebody down here in a BMX, and I had to come see. And from him, I got into BMX, which was a big part of my life for a very long time. We rode together. He taught me a lot. He taught me how to get a proper bike. He taught me how to do a bunny hop, how to do 180s, how to grind. And from his motivation that he gave me, I had progressed. And actually to the point, I will say that at one point that I had gotten better at him in some things, and then I ended up teaching him a little bit. He helped me buy my first actual real decent skateboard. He taught me how to ollie on it. We would go on road trips together. I introduced him to my nephew. We went on road trips together. And my nephew was a good friend of his to the day he died. I was one of his best friends. I taught him how to play guitar. I taught him how to play bass. And it's a lot. It's a lot. To know that somebody had been so close for so long and you drifted away. And I do remember last time I saw him, it wasn't great. He was working as a chef. He was a little out of it. I don't know if he was out of it just because of life, because he was tired, or because of drugs. It might have been all three. But he wasn't there. And it's almost like he didn't recognize me. And that would be the last time I saw him, and that was years ago. More recently, I had seen him post some things where it seemed like he was reminiscing of those old days quite a lot. Posted some photos saying the good old days. And I will say, I'm not one to look back in the past and say the good old days, because people do that. They're always living in the past. I do not. I always live for the moment that I'm in and progressing for a future. But I will agree with him. Those were good days. So I think what I'm saying here is just remembering that somebody was a big part of my life, who's gone now. And I've been gone for a while from my life, but now is actually gone. And I wish he wasn't. I wish he had stayed closer. I wish I had stayed closer. And I don't know, maybe a little bit of background there just to show it's a lot of my life that is tied to this guy. I have a constant reminder every time I move my ankle and every time my knee goes out from under me. Every time that I hobble on a cane, which most people don't even realize that I do. Every time that I can't stand up straight, I have a reminder of it all started with my buddy Chris. Yeah, you didn't have to go, buddy. People when they go, and I've been there. I think we've all been there at one point in our life. You think that that's the best solution because you can't see the end in sight. I even did a photo series on this once called The Finish Line. What people don't realize is when they end their life, they leave a mess behind with everybody else they left behind. I don't want to play the selfish card, no. It's not what I mean. But also, you think that you gotta go because things are so bad, but what you might not realize is that you're 10 feet away from the finish line where everything turns around. And I've thought that for a long time. I've always felt that, and my opinion does not change. But for any of those that are saying it's selfish, somebody take their own life, for anybody to say that all that kind of bullshit, just stop. Because unless you've been there, you don't know. We have no idea what was going through his mind. We have no idea what he was going through. And when you're at that point, that's all you see. It's hard to see anything else. So I'm incredibly empathetic. I'm incredibly sympathetic. And I miss my friend. And there's a lot of people that miss him much more than I do. But I don't hate him for it. It's not his fault. But, yeah, I think that's all I have to say.